to university despite several outbreaks of coronavirus, leaving many confined to their rooms. And as New York schools continue a phased reopening, we'll look at the impact months of disruption will have on literacy rates across the world. Hello and welcome if you're watching in the UK or around the world. Stay with us for the latest news and analysis from here and across the globe. We go straight to the White House, where President Trump is holding a news conference and he's answering questions about his tax returns.
Possible bias against Judge Barrett's religion. Only 2 Catholic bishops have come out to say the same thing you have. Is any effort being made by any of you to say, get the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops?
I think that, yeah.
At least other leaders within the
We're in the
church.
process of doing that. I think it's horrible what they're doing. I mean, they're playing the religious card, and it's frankly, you're talking about Catholics. It's a very major religion in our country. I don't know, Chris, do you have anything to say about it?
It's obvious what they're doing. So, you know, she'll be strong. She'll be tough, and she'll stand up for what she believes in.
And she went through, just like I did 4 years ago, in terms of litigation of different things. She went through it before and did very well. Rudy, what do you think?
I think the article in the New York Times today reveals a very strong anti-Catholic bias. I mean, it says in the article that Catholicism and the American ethos can't be contradict each other.
Well, let me ask
what is the American ethos? It's their version of it. That's a horrible thing to say. And then it says that Catholics have difficulty separating public and private morality. I don't have difficulty separating public and private morality. So what I see is the beginning of a really strong anti-Catholic attack. And having lived through the John Kennedy election, that article today reminded me of the things that used to be written before John Kennedy. Could a Catholic be loyal to the United States? Come on.
Well, having said
That's
that,
exactly what Feinstein raised when she made that awful remark to the judge.
well, let me repeat my question again. Why are only 2 bishops within the church speaking out, and will you make an effort to get the U.S.
Oh, I
Conference?
think they'll come out very strong. This is day one. I mean, we've just started this. This is absolutely day one. And, you know, I mean, they're going to be coming out very strong. The Catholic Church is very well united on this. They are so thrilled that Amy was chosen. They are so thrilled. Oh, they'll be, you know, again, it's been 24 hours, okay, so it's been a very short period of time, but they're going to come out very strong. Yeah, please, go ahead. OAN.
Christina Bob from OAN, thank you for the briefing. You spoke earlier about some of the subjects that Joe Biden has been refusing to answer questions on, specifically Hunter Biden, his involvement with Russia, Ukraine, even China, and then the Obamagate.
And the press doesn't ask those questions. It's incredible.
I'm wondering, the debate is coming up this week. Do you anticipate Joe Biden being held to task, and will he be able to answer those questions at the debate?
I don't know. I mean, we're going to find out, because a lot of things are going to come up in the debate. That may be one. I mean, the son didn't have a job. He had some big difficulties, and then all of a sudden he's making millions of dollars as soon as his father becomes vice president. No, I think that'll come up. I don't think Joe can answer it, frankly. I think there's only one reason he made all that money. And then you have to say, what about Joe's involvement? And why did Joe not give the $1 billion over to Ukraine, as an example, until such time as they let go of a prosecutor that was investigating the company that his son was involved with? I mean, there's some bad questions. I don't think they have answers. And if we had a media that was fair, even just reasonable, this would be the biggest story for years and years and years. Then you'd really be entitled to real Pulitzer Prizes, not the fake committee that gives you these fake awards. So, I mean, it's a really fair question, but it's hard to believe when you see the kind of money that he has made from China, from Russia, where the wife of the mayor of Moscow gives him $3.5 million, and nobody even has any question about it. Why did he get $3.5 million? I'll tell you why. Because Joe Biden was in on it. Joe was in on it. There's no way that he wasn't. And uses Joe Biden's plane, Air Force Two, uses Joe, and they go to China, and then he comes back, and he never mentioned it to his father that he just got $1.5 billion, and now it's turning out that it's much more money than that, Rudy. It's turned out to be much more money from China. They have a member of the Chinese Communist Party gave him a lot of money, and the press has no interest in these stories. It's just it's very disheartening for the people of our country. Please.
Mr. President, if he tries to dodge the question.
Well, obviously, the questioning has moved on to Joe Biden, but President Trump a little earlier was answering questions on his own tax returns, because the New York Times has been reporting that Mr. Trump paid only $750 in federal income taxes in the year that he won the presidency, and paid no income tax at all in 10 of the previous 15 years. Let's hear what he had to say.
It's totally fake news, made up, fake. We went through the same stories. You could have asked me the same questions 4 years ago. I had to litigate this and talk about it. Totally fake news. No, actually, I paid tax, and you'll see that as soon as my tax returns. It's under audit. They've been under audit for a long time. The IRS does not treat me well. They treat me like the Tea Party, like they treated the Tea Party. They don't treat me well. They treat me very badly. You have people in the IRS, they treat me very, very badly. But they're under audit, and when they're not, I would be proud to show it, but that's just fake news. The New York Times tried it, the same thing. They want to create a little bit of a story, they're doing anything they can. Not only that's the least of it. I mean, the stories that I read are so fake, they're so phony.
Well, the New York Times has claimed that it's obtained tax information about President Trump extending over more than 2 decades, revealing property struggles and write-offs of all sorts of assets, and an audit battle. But you heard there President Trump saying it's all fake news. Armenia's Prime Minister